We're on the road to Extreme Rules here in Season 3, and we have some commissioner and journal goals we're going to try to get done and accomplish today. First and foremost, we have a commissioner goal with Triple H. He's wanting us to have at least one Extreme Rules match this week, which will ensure we get a special promotion card. We'll keep a retention of most of our fans, so that's going to be something really big we're focusing on. Also, we have two goals ahead of us here. We have one for Roxanne Perez. We promised her a main event match this week, and also we have the former champion, Tamina. We've given her a rematch clause against Asuka within the next 2 weeks. And if we're looking at the ratings here, of course, our blue brand, Xavier Woods and Smackdown, we are still the chief amongst all brands out there. First place followed by NXT, WCW, and Raw in terms of the show ratings and fans. Right now, as we take a look at the roster heading into this Extreme Rules pay-per-view road, we have a lot of really good, strong personalities and strong popularity, led, of course, by our champion, Montez Ford, who won the title last episode in the main event. And then we also have Rey Mysterio with 100 popularity, Gigi Dolan, who we just got on the brand at 97 popularity, our SmackDown Women's Champion, Asuka, at 97, we have Jey Uso at 96, the IC title holder, Cody Rhodes, former champ, at 91. So we have 6 superstars currently right now, all at 90 plus popularity, which is massive for this roster as we're trying to build new stars with the lower end as well. Let's see what type of rivalries and what type of road to Extreme Rules we can have today. We're also going to be making a signing to the legend pool. We're going to be grabbing Trish Stratus. We're going to bring her on 10 weeks for $128,000. It'll be worth the payoff. So taking a look at the first show, we have quite a few titles here. We have 2 on the line in this first episode. For today, we lead with Asuka Tamina tables match. We have an interference. Dana Brooke interferes, so Asuka retains a 4.5-star classic match. And Dana Brooke with the run-in right there. That will be a feud we're going to try to grow. Edge getting a little call out there with Jey Uso, trying to do something with the feud, but nothing develops. Gigi Dolan now taking on Trish Stratus, and Dolan. It's a 3.5-star great match, and the rivalry grows between the two. Rey Mysterio with a call out of Flint McStone's level 2 feud growing. These tag titles are on the line, and we have new champions, as it's going to be a 3-star match, and we have a self-promo there for our boy KO. And the main event, which we promised we'd have Roxanne Perez in, it will be on the line, is JC Jane and Aaliyah with the win. It's a 3-star main event, not great overall. So as we look at the drama curve, we killed the opener, but the finish was a little bit meandering. Not much going on there with our main event finish overall. And honestly, the feuds didn't develop as I was anticipating today. Raw put on a pretty solid show as we're looking at their card there. I mean, I can see you got some talent there on that Raw roster. I think Kurt Angle, and I mentioned this before, I think Raw may have a really big season if they can push and get some of those GM goals. We'll see where they end up, but right now as it stands, we finished with 32,000 fans gained that week, which is pretty dang solid. $165,000 profit. NXT with 24,000 fans, so that sits them behind us. Raw right now running in last. They only had 20,000 fans gained from that one, which was a little bit surprising because I thought they crushed it. And WCW wins the week, 58,000 fans for Bischoff and WCW. We do complete our goal, the commissioner goal, so we get our special promotion card. And as you can see, we are still on the top of the ratings right now because, again, 4 out of 10 Hall of Fame trophies. We're tied with Bischoff there, but we have the fan advantage over them by almost 200,000 at this point. And it looks like Cora Jade, a little bit upset, says things are not working out. She's willing to tear up her contract and move on. So what's the deal? Okay, what's the deal going on with Cora Jade here? She says, I gave you a chance to fix things, you blew it, so I'm out of here. So Cora Jade apparently getting out of here. Tamina upset with Dana Brooke after interfering in that, so she would like a match with her. Absolutely, exactly what we were hoping to do. We're going to go ahead and use our To The Moon card. It's going to give one superstar on the card with less than 60 popularity a plus 15. So who do we want to go and give some huge popularity boost to? Well, I can see none other than right here, Triton, who, again, that was our project this year. I wanted to see if we can propel him up. We give him a plus 15. Now we're also going to be using a beginner's luck 3. As you can see, Triton will have their popularity raised by 15 more. So Triton now up 15 more popularity. He is killing it. So following those 2 cards, Triton went down. He was from the 20s. Now he's at 40 popularity. King Triton ready to have a run here with the blue brand. And with us losing Cora Jade, we need to fill in some more spots for our women's roster. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go sign Nikita Lyons. I think she could be a huge star for us, potentially $145,000 for her. And Queen Zelina's around. We have never had her on the brand from what I can remember in our 3 seasons. We know her match specialty. She's a 4 out of 5 promo, 2 star power overall. Let's bring her on for $64,000 for 10 weeks. So our second show of the week, we're going to continue our feud here with Asuka and Ronda Rousey. This one, not a title match. Ronda with the win. It now grows the feud to level 1, and it's a 4-star match to kick off the show. Edge with the promo call out. Level 4 feud now with him and Jay Uso. Tag team match, again, trying to get this to be a level 4 feud here. Breaker and Wild with the win. Level 3 now, and a 3-star match in its own right. Triton, big move here, moving him from a face to a heel this week. We'll talk about that in a moment. Gigi Dolan here taking on Trish Stratus. That is a win for Dolan, and she's now propelled to a level 2 feud with Trish and a 3-star match. And here's why we made the big role change. Montez Ford calling out Triton. It's a level 1 feud. We're throwing him right into the fire here against Ford to be his next challenger for the title. And then we move to the main event. Big names here. Cody Rhodes taking on Kevin Owens, and Owens with the win in the tables match. A level 1 feud now grown, and only a 3-star main event. So we look at the drama curve yet again, and overall a very consistent show. We had a 4-star opener, 3 stars for the mid-cards and the main event. Overall, NXT had some lackluster mid-card, but they finished off with a very strong backstage brawl between Lashley and Wes Lee overall. And then Raw had a nice tag team championship matchup between Dawkins Ali and Angel and Reigns. And then we see, of course, NXT or WCW had a nice main event for the hardcore title, Ricochet and Robert Roode. So overall, we probably didn't have the best week, the best card, but we do bring in 27,000 fans, a profit of $182,000. NXT brings in more fans than us, 30,008. Raw behind us with 20,000 fans gain, and WCW brings in at 29,000 fans. So overall, we complete a goal for contract negotiation 1, and we are still on top of the landscape. And Flint McStones apparently is upset now as well. I'm not completely sure why, but he said he's had enough crap. Working at SmackDown's been a complete joke. And he says the only way you're going to convince him to stay is give him a $100,000 bonus, which I'm willing to do because, again, I want him to become a huge star here for us. So we're going to give him the money he wants. Roxanne Perez says she's been thinking about teaming up with Nikita Lyons recently. I think that'd be great for a tag team match. I think we can make that happen, Roxanne, as soon as this week. Let's do it. And we have a commissioner goal here. As you can see, Trips, he is saying do not put Gigi Dolan in a match this week. If we do that, if we avoid to keep her out of it, out of the show, we will get a veto star card. Blocks an opposing brand from booking their most popular superstar in next week's show. This is a must. All right, so here we are for this week's show here. I think have a really nice, solid, balanced show here overall. We get Rey Mysterio and Flint McStones to open up in a tables match. This is a rivalry. Rey with the win, and it's a 4-star match, a level 3 feud now grown. Asuka calling out Ronda, level 2 feud now there. Here is our challenge being completed. Lyons and Perez taking on the tag team champs for the women's division. It's a 3-star match and no feud grown. Montez Ford calling out Triton doesn't propel the feud forward any at all. We have our continual tag team action here between these 4. Madcap Moss and Axiom with the win in a 3.5-star match. Trish calling out Dolan, who will not be appearing on this week's show. In our main event, in an Extreme Rules match, nobody meaner than Tamina with the win against Dana Brooke in a 2.5-star main event. Not what I was hoping to see, but it does propel the feud forward. So overall, a solid show outside of the lackluster main event that did nothing. Dana Brooke and Tamina did not crush it at all. The performance was a 1.5 star. It was horrific. Overall, though, Raw had a decent, or NXT, excuse me, with a solid show. And of course, you got a backstage brawl between Ripley and Bianca. You're going to kill it as they do there. And then you got WCW doing their thing. Of course, Ricochet and Robert Roode continuing their feud, which is now stale. but apparently still getting good performances overall. And we look at the viewership here. You see we have some feedback. Roxanne Perez and Nikita Lyons are now, they work well as a tag team. We only gained 18,000 fans, which is holy moly low compared to NXT, who brought in 60,000 fans this last week. Raw with 18,000 as well, and WCW with 27. So NXT crushes it. We do get the Veto Star card, completing our commissioner goal. We also get a Health Spa 3 card as well for completing a seasonal challenge. But NXT cruising with that last week's win. They're still behind in 3rd place because they are 1 trophy behind Bischoff and myself for the Hall of Fame trophies. And we have now been hit with Best Friends Forever. Select an opposing brand, reduce 2 of their rivalries by 1 level. And that is not what I was hoping to see heading into our go home show for Extreme Rules. We're going to go ahead and use some of our power cards heading into the go home show. We're going to use a double cost card, and we're going to put this on, I think NXT, they're the biggest threat to us long term right now, I think, with Tyler Breeze. So we're going to use a double cost card on them for next week's show. And we're also going to go ahead and use the Veto Star card for NXT, taking away the most popular star for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So it's time for the go home show before Extreme Rules. Everything here is trying to build out the rivalry. So Montez Ford and Triton, they are a level 1 feud. Ford wins, of course, the champ does. 3-star opener, 2-star to level 2 now feud between him and Triton. Asuka calling out Ronda, level 3 feud now there between those two. We have Tamina taking on Dana Brooke, and Tamina, yet another win, as it's now a level 3 feud in a 4-star match. Rey Mysterio calling out Flint McStones, the tag team feud that is level 3 perpetually, it seems. Moss and Axiom with the win, and it's now finally level 4 in a 4-star match as well. Cody calling out KO, level 2 feud in our main event is Dolan and Trish Stratus, as Trish with the win. A 4-star match, nothing for the rivalry though. So as we look at the drama curve, we had a solid week. We had really good 4-star matches for the last 3 matches. The opener was a 3-star between Triton and Montez Ford, who Triton now, look at that popularity, up to 67 popularity. This is why we do what we do overall. You see NXT with a consistent show overall. We had Raw with a solid show. I think their main event was a fatal 4-way for the women's championship, as it looks like I don't know who won that one overall, but that's nice to see for them. And then you see we have the continual feud as Robert Roode and Ricochet for the hardcore title as well. So as it stands, we finished with 30,000 fans gained after that week, as NXT brings in 9,000 less, 21,000 for NXT, Raw with 23,000, and last but not least is WCW with 34,000 fans. So as we head to the finale of today's episode, Extreme Rules, we are on top still by a long shot. We've been hitting no. I knew this was going to happen. Asuka just got vetoed by WCW, so we will not be able to have Asuka versus Ronda this week in the pay-per-view, unfortunately. That's not what I was hoping to see. Braun Breaker thinks he should be put in a match with Axiom. Trust me on this. We'll get that done here sooner rather than later. And Otis says, I haven't really been in the ring in a while. I'd like to put you back in there. I'd like to be in a match in the next show. How about a promo? He says, okay. So we'll give Otis a promo. But yeah, I do need to find a way to put him in somewhere. So let's book out this show. It's time for Extreme Rules. And we are going to use our special promotion card to make sure we retain most of our fans this week at our PLE. We are here. It is time for Extreme Rules. Now, I will state this. The card is stacked, but I unfortunately forgot to change all of the show setup. So that means the arena, all of that stuff behind the scenes, all of it is at default. So what you're going to see truly how this pans out for us. Tamina with the win against Dana Brooke in a 5-star legendary match. We're really banking that just things work out for us. We are not going to make a ton of money on this show. I'm hoping the fan retention will be great, as we have the tag titles on the line, and Breaker and Wild win. Concludes the feud, 4.5-star classic. Dolan with the call out there of Trish growing that feud. We have our Cody versus KO mid-card tables match. Cody with the win. and it's a legendary match. It's a level 3 feud. Otis, we promised him we'd give him a spot there to do a promo. He gets 2 popularity. Big match here. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. Jey Uso taking on Edge, and Jey retains and he keeps the title on as the IC champ. We have a charity spot for Queen Zelina, and it leads to the main event in a steel cage match for the Universal Championship. Your champion, Montez Ford, taking on the villainous King Triton. And who will win? It is Montez Ford, who retains, keeps his title, a level 3 feud now, in a 5-star match. Overall, a very good show. But we must remember, again, as good as the show was, you just look at the drama curve there. We had no match less than a 4.5 star. We are putting on banger after banger. Look at Tamina and Dana Brooke. Excellent match there. I'm looking at the popularities of everybody right now. Everybody's 71 or higher so far from what I'm seeing. Edge, not there. He's at 66 popularity, but look at Triton. Even in a loss, he's growing. He's at a 71 popularity. He was at the 20 or 21, I believe, when we got this thing started. He is rolling. As you look at the other brands, NXT had a very good show overall. 5-star opener and closer. And then in between was kind of meh, whatever it was. Raw was decent at best. And WCW had a, again, very strong opener. And a really, really strong finisher as they finally conclude the feud there between Rude and Ricochet. But again, with us not having all our stuff, we do gain 171,000 fans. We lose money. We didn't profit at all out of this pay-per-view because, of course, we forgot to do all of the stuff for the attendance and all. You see the attendance there. We only got $10,000 off of that. The crowd of 2,000 saw one of our best shows we've ever put on. But 171,000 fans. NXT behind us with 130,000 fans. Raw way behind us, 67,000, and WCW 119. So overall, even still, despite us screwing that up, we win the week. We are still number 1, nearing 5 million fans, which we should attain in the next episode. As now, ladies and gentlemen, we look ahead to Hell in a Cell, and we've now been hit with good talent, which means I'll have it increased by $20,000 for all stars if we try to sign anybody. We've also been hit with a double cost card by NXT for next week's show, which is unfortunate. But overall, let's finish out. Let's look at some of the things going on with our talent. Jey Uso's contract's running out. We will make sure we are going to give him a bonus. I'm fine with giving you. You've been doing a great job. I'll give you the 126,000. Triple H is just warning us about the things we just learned with the power cards. JC Jane says, good old Tampa. I guess that's our hometown, our home away from home. So we'll see here. We're going to make sure she's on the card. And Dana Brooke says she's not feeling 100% right now. So she just wants to sit out so she doesn't get hurt. So we're going to make sure to give Dana Brooke a little bit of rest heading into this week. As we conclude, we're going to talk about the shakeup card. Which of these 3 cards will we select moving in to the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view? Specialists put on fantastic matches against other specialists, but they lose a lot more stamina. High-class resolutions gain 10,000 fans, but lose $30,000 whenever a rivalry is resolved. Or break a leg. Superstars are injured for an extra 3 shows, but gain 20 popularity when they come back. Well, we have to select something. And I think for me overall, I'm willing to go ahead and do the... I'm just going to go with the silver card, high class resolutions, gain 10,000 fans, but lose $30,000 every time. So as we head to Hell in a Cell, we are number 1. We are tracking down some Hall of Fame trophies as Xavier Rhodes continues to show his dominance in the Battle of the GM brands here at our MyGM Season 3.